with Comrade Lamte Oriaki. This is the Comrade Show. Yes, top of the moment to you, Nigerians across the world. I want to quickly wish everybody a very happy Easter celebration. Today is 17th of April 2022. My name is Comrade Lamte Oriaki, and this is the Comrade Show. We are going to start on a note of Easter. And like I said, I'm wishing everybody a very happy Easter. But this year's Easter for me is very symbolic. It's symbolic because Nigeria today is faced with so many issues, which put together, we may not completely say we are happy today being Easter. However, we cannot take the flavor away from Easter. We still have to wish ourselves happy Easter, but this Easter symbolically must represent, an Easter where we sit down and reflect on the lot that is going on around us. As a nation, we are not a happy people. As a nation, too many things are happening that is bringing us all under. And right now, it is a deciding moment for us. When we take some look back at the last 7 years, down the line to probably the last 20 years, we'll know that we have been very unfair to ourselves as a people. This nation has not been able to bring out the best of her. This nation has been run down by her own people. And right now, as 2023 beckons, it is a time for Nigerians to really take a look back, look at where we are coming from, look at where we are currently, and probably project into what the future might be. 2023 is a deciding moment for all of us. And therefore, like I said in one of my previous broadcasts, we as Nigerians must take what happens in 2023 seriously. We as Nigerians must take it personal. I am taking it very personal because we cannot afford to make the same old mistakes we've made over the years. Nigeria is sinking, whether you like it or not. We've hit different rocks. We are right now down almost to the abyss of no return. We have one more chance, possibly, to turn back the fortunes of this nation, to turn things around and probably stabilize this nation. Please, if you are watching and you are joining me, please help share this broadcast. Uh, Share this broadcast, I will insist, because uh, if you believe in some of the things that we are doing, it may just be your own contributions towards, making the change. Because what we are doing is to contribute to change in this country. We are faced with choices. Many are very deceptive. The same old story, the same old narrative. Our young people are deceived into believing in some of these charades. And some of our young people become perpetuators of pulling down Nigeria unconsciously. And this is why we must continue to speak to 2023 to bring us to that level of awareness, to understand that this time must be different. This time should be different. If for no reason, it should be different for the generations of Nigerians unborn. Our lives must count for something. We must make some effort to contribute to that change. That effort may be as little as nothing to somebody, but put together, they will all count for something. 2023 beckons. Politicians are all over, vying to become the president of Nigeria. We've made mistakes in the past. The current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is the biggest fraud that this nation probably has ever known. It is the biggest error that this nation has ever made. And there are so many of the components of these errors, so many of those who show this error to us, they have started the same way they came with this error on Nigerians. They started. I am focusing today this broadcast right now on Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and I'm going to tell you why this is very important. Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Peter Obi, a clear choice for Nigerians. Nigerians must decide. This is important. The decision cannot wait till 2023. Our decision must start now. Just yesterday or day before, if I'm not mistaken, it's all over the news right now that the youth of Lagos came together under the aegis of wanting youth, endorsing Buhari, and there was a very big program. The governor of Lagos State was there and all. I've spoken with some of the people who attended the program and all of that. I'm going to talk about all of these, and they've been pushing the narrative, creating the impression that the youth of Nigeria are with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But while I was looking at the pictures coming out of the mirror, so many people who attended the event, singing Bola Ahmed Tinubu's praise and every other thing, I wanted to look out for what his message was. Talking of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the man who is contesting and wanting to become president of Nigeria. I wanted to listen to the content of his message to see if I am wrong in my campaign against him, for a long time coming. And yet, when I listened to his address to the people, he further vindicated my position that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a very clear wrong choice for this highly exalted office. And every Nigerian must understand this, that even though they use all the millions and billions to mobilize, we must understand that this time must be different. We have the power to make that difference, and they understand. But before much ado, let us, look at a big part of the message of Bola Ahmed Tinubu told the young people of Nigeria, told the Lagos youths that came, of course, to endorse him, as widely reported. They will start picking from there. Please share this broadcast. On this broadcast, I want to appeal to us. Okay, if you watch this broadcast and you like what we are doing, we want to get 1,000 shares or more from this broadcast, because they know the power of social media and they know that we are reaching the people. Let's take a listen.
The greatest of the greatest Nigerian youth.
Great.
The most brilliant and the most focused Nigerian youth.
Great.
The developing Nigerian youth.
Great.
The successful Nigerian youth.
Great.
Great of the great of the great of the greatest of the greatest.
Great.
God bless you. I just had a very fantastic introduction from one of the brightest, committed and focused youths as a governor of Lagos State, Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu. With his deputy governor, Babafemi Amsat, and all the members of the cabinet that are hereby present. The organizers of today's youth rally. What can I say but say thank you, all of you present here today. I must show my gratitude, but this is not the only podium to show gratitude. Working hard for you to change the dynamics, to change the story of Nigeria, to be bold enough to start a new initiative, to change the story of potential to reality, to imagine that we are one of the brilliant, most resourceful, most committed individual in this country. We are youths. You are. I'm here, not for me alone, for you and for tomorrow. that you represent. You have represented us well. Yes, we feel your angers when you are angry. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. The promises of the past have failed to realize that you build the future from the onset, from the kindergarten to high school to university. All of that need a serious reform. I disagree with excuses that we cannot help it. We can help it if, and I say if, today the Twitter, the Facebook alone represent 3.5 billion people. How did they do it that we cannot? All you need is courage and determination, perseverance. If the YouTube alone had 2.9 billion people following it, including you all standing here, then Nigeria can excel, can do it. You must develop the can-do attitude. You must have the grit and determination that this country is yours and you want to change the story. You must change the story. You must change the story of potential. You must change the story of banditry. You must change the story of tribalism. Poverty has no tribal mark. We, as a nation, we can feed ourselves. Anybody says we cannot, he may get out. It's voluntary. We can definitely feed ourselves by being creative, visionary, and committed. Do you know how many of you tweeting on WhatsApp right now? The world will host a database of 1.6 billion on WhatsApp alone. And yet, we started disconnecting for NIPP, our phone numbers. No, it's not it. Let us forget. We cannot continue the lamentation of the past. We have to brace for now. Push, you must push. Ready, you must be ready. But since we chose democracy, it's one man, one vote. One man, one vote. If you have no PVC, if you have no revalidation of that PVC, you don't know whether it has expired. Yeah, don't forget that there is expiry date or even on your cash points. So go and revalidate the card. Those of you who have not registered must go there. I thank the local government chairmen and the people for what they are doing. But you can't be part of 1.4 billion people on Instagram and have no card. For God's sake. You are the future. You are the reason why I'm here. Yes, I want to be president. For what? Is it for Eba? Is it for Gary? Is it for beans, Adudu? I want to be president for you. Drive me there. Commit yourself. Enough of excuses. Enough of bitterness. Enough of disunity. All we have to do is be a united Nigeria of Africa. Hunger has no tribal mark. Poverty, no tribal mark. Money in the bank, no tribal mark. All we take is bold.
Anyway, I do not wish to belabor us with the rhetorics. All he said is not just more than what you just heard him say. When I listened to this speech, I was further vindicated, in the position I've taken that the likes of Bola Ahmed Tinubu must be jettisoned, at all costs. Now, for every aspirant who mean well, who really understand what they are doing, and who have a purpose, for chasing this ambition, they must have a blueprint. Um, they must have a blueprint, of what they actually want to achieve. And I thought that this was a huge opportunity for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to tell Nigerians, what his blueprint, is for the office of the presidency and all of that. But what you've heard him say is just the same old rhetoric, and it all ended up with go and get your BVC to vote without just 1 second. Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, he will be back in about half an hour. Will you call back half an hour, sir? All right, sir. Thank you so much. Sorry, that's a very that's a call coming in that I don't want to take right now. So, like I was saying, he had a very important opportunity, to let us know these are his plans. But the same old rhetoric, it was exactly what he did previously with Buhari and all of that. There is nothing in all he said for nearly 20 minutes in his address to the people that actually we can take out to say this is what Tinubu wants to do for Nigeria. These are some of the changes he's bringing on board. Nothing. To be very honest, nothing. Now, the difference between this man and somebody like Peter Gregory is this. Peter, we already know the problems. Don't tell us we have a problem with with this, with that, and all of that. Peter Gregory understands the problem. He talks about the problem and talks about the solution to the problems. This man at some point said, "Oh, Lagos State government enrolled WAEC for some in this broadcast for some children, and that if they vote for him, that could translate into free education, even to university level and all of that." These are blanket nonsense statements. If you do not tell the people how and where are you going to be paying for that? Where are we going to be getting the money to solve some of these problems? How do we solve some of these problems? You will never hear how. Now, to further vindicate me, I want to play an old video of Bola Ahmed Tinubu trying to profile some solution to what he believes, is an economic solution to Nigeria issues of unemployment amongst the youth and all of that. It is laughable when I listen because it's got nothing in it at all that we can take away from. Nigerians cannot afford to make the mistake right now. It is too, the time we are in right now is too delicate for us to even think twice. But let's watch this because I'm going to play this clip so we begin to understand, exactly some of the points that some of us are making about somebody like Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I must take this very personal. You understand what I'm saying now? I must give reasons why Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot be a choice at all, cannot be a consideration at all. As a matter of fact, every APC member, okay, who's there to determine the delegates, they must understand that this man is no choice at all. They are going to brag with all the billions, with all the trillions, with all the whatever. The desperation is just to get there. They have nothing to offer. As a matter of fact, there's a likelihood that if you people give Bola Ahmed Tinubu the chance, Nigeria may be worse off in another 4 years. Where are we going to take it? So if APC knows what is good for them, they should look within and probably find, some of those one or two of those persons among their means that they know that they are compliant, they have something to offer. Nigerians have a right to be presented with choices that are credible. Let us have somebody from APC, somebody from PDP, that Nigerians can say at least wherever it goes, we can at least be at home because these two candidates or these major candidates coming out, okay, anywhere it goes is good enough. Tinubu is not in the mix at all. It's not in the mix at all. It's far from it. And so I'm taking this personal. I like that every Nigerian, I like that every APC delegate understand that Tinubu is not a choice at all. He's got the money, he's got the connections, he's got the this, but that is not what Nigeria needs right now. Tinubu is part of this cocoon that we have right now. He's part of this failure we have right now. All the years till this moment, Tinubu has not been able to pick up any policy of this administration of President Muhammadu Buhari that he himself forced on Nigerians to say this is wrong. He has never spoken to condemn any act of insecurity under the Buhari regime. He has never spoken to talk about the failing level of the economic policies of this nation. He has never spoken about all the ills, the pain that Nigerians are going through right now. Are we going to talk about the bullion van story? Are we going to talk about the Lagos massacre of Nigerians that were protesting for their own rights? Are we going to talk about all the atrocities that have been committed in this country and where this man will just ease off? And yet they call him the national leader of the APC. This is a country right now as we speak. The presidency is granting amnesty to confirmed thieves, confirmed corrupt people that have defrauded this nation. It's a defining moment for Nigeria. And we must all feel this pain. We must all be inside the circle to understand where we are. Anybody who clamor for Tinubu, as far as I'm concerned, is only advocating for a continuation of what we already have. This that Nigerians are already tired of. Now there's a mix to this that I want you all to understand. If you didn't listen to this excerpt I played just now, he emphasized so much on social media. The number of billions of subscribers we have on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. He was very emphatic about that because they already know that the world has moved very much into social media. That to get your message across, social media is very powerful. This is what I'm advocating. If you trust what we are doing, that may be your contribution. You may not be the one that is disposed to do what we are doing right now. We stick our neck out to do what we do. Please share. Let's get thousands of share on this broadcast. Let the world know. Let Nigerians know. Let the delegates know. Let them feel the impact. Make your comments. But let me play this video. This one just, I think last year it was or so. This is Tinubu trying to provide solution to Nigeria's economic woes. Just take a listen and see how debased, see how empty, see how inept. Take a listen, please.
recruit 50 million youths into the army and the other thing. Take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, àgbàdo, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption.
I don't know if you did listen to that. I don't know how ashamed you would be that somebody who is a presidential aspirant is sounding like this. Recruit 50 million youth into the army. What they will eat, cassava, agbado, blah, 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 and all of that. Nothing presidential. Nothing whatsoever presidential. Look, my people, look. Ordinarily, for some of us, it may be like, what will be our business self? I have not lived in Nigeria for, I don't know, maybe 20 years or more. I've been out of that country. I live in the UK right now. I've lived in three countries. I've lived in Germany, I've lived in Spain, I live in the UK right now. I have a family, I have a wife, I have children, and all of that. I probably don't know if there's anything that is going to, make. I don't know. Let me not speak to that. You understand? But what I'm trying to say is that um, Nigeria economy directly doesn't really affect me. I am employed. Um, I am okay as a person. But the truth of the matter is, Nigeria is my country. Overtly or covertly, somehow, for everybody who's like me, Nigerians living abroad, the impact of what is happening in Nigeria, we feel it because I'm here. Majority of the members of my family are still in Nigeria, under the Nigerian economy. I have a lot of people who are not family members. People I just know from the street that I'm supporting, working hard to support, some through schools, some through whatever it is. The same way with so many Nigerians who live abroad. So somehow, some families, I probably when I sent some time ago, when I sent 50 pounds whole, they are able to, go through with 50 pounds in a month. This time, what they are able to get for 50 pounds, those that I mean in before Buhari came in, that this time 200 pounds is not even enough to take them through those same things. So somehow the economy is affecting me. It's affecting every Nigerian out there who is abroad making a living, who cares about families, who cares about friends, who cares about some people right there in Nigeria. And so, therefore, somehow, okay, we are as involved as everybody who is at home. This is why the matter is personal to me, very, very personal. The rhetorics of vote for us it was very emphatic. Go and get your PVC, make sure you get registered, this, that, blah, 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 blah. All of that. Now, there's an addition to this twist. The addition is that they now understand that there's so much power in social media. A lot of people derive their news from social media. A lot of people derive their power from social media. A lot of people derive their diversion from social media. And that is why we are doing the bit that we can to present everybody with the proof. And the major proof right now is that this man is not what Nigeria needs right now. And therefore, if you are watching and you want to save Nigeria as much as we do, please let us get over 1,000 shares. They hear us, they listen to us, they panic when we speak because our message is getting across to the people. We are turning out messages, and we are not biased. I made one broadcast, I don't know, within last week or so, I don't know. As a result of that broadcast, I have received a lot of calls. Some of the notable calls are those calling me to what's it called, to shift camp to Tinubu and advocate for Tinubu presidency. And I have, let me not even go into those details, but I'm sure that I've been clear enough that nobody comes with me with that kind of suggestion anymore, because it is not about what goes into my pocket. It is not about that. I think personally, I have grown very much beyond that. They've organized a rally in Lagos. I spoke with somebody who attended that rally. One guy from Edo State. He attended the rally. He told me how much he was giving to be part of that rally. We are going to see many of such things across different parts of this nation. They induce people with money, they bribe them with money to attend rallies. For optics, just to give the impression that they are popular. And so they say that widely on social media. So when people see, they tend to believe that, oh man, they are holding sway. Nothing. Nothing. And my message to everybody was in that rally. Those who truly understand that Nigeria needs to move forward. Take their money. Because some of this money they are spreading, it is the money that they have not used to develop Nigeria. So take it. But you have a conscience. I must now speak to the delegates. There is a clear-cut difference between this man, Bola Tinubu, and Peter Obi. As a matter of fact, they shouldn't even be compared. I am trying not to compare Bola Tinubu and Peter Obi. Rather, I'm trying to let everybody know the reason why Bola Tinubu should never be a choice to be considered at all if we truly want Nigeria to move forward. Some days ago, Peter Obi met with members of the board of trustees of the PDP. He spoke there. I follow Peter Obi, everywhere he goes and all of that. As time goes, I'm going to be releasing a lot of his, speeches everywhere. And every day he speaks, I'm further convinced that Peter Obi is the apt man for the job right now. He's the man that Nigeria needs right now. Let's take a listen to Peter Obi's, address to the PDP Board of Trustees member. This message is important. Credit to Channel Television for the video I played previously. This one is to, I don't know, whether Synform or something. This video, there is no synchroning between his speech and the movement of his body. But don't mind, but just listen and take the message home. Let's take a listen to Peter Obi addressing PDP Board of Trustees.
Allowing me, permitting me, directing me to come and talk to you. Second is to thank you sincerely for what you're doing for this party. Most of you have been involved in this party since inception, and what you're doing for the country. Most of you have done wonderful work for the country, and I thank you for that. My visit this afternoon is just to introduce myself and be able to mention, I'm sure you've been seeing other aspirants and you continue to see all of us, to be able to say to you, my name is Peter Obi and this and this. So whatever I'm going to tell you about this country, you know it already. Some of you are involved with it. But to join from where this comes. My little comment is to plead with all of you. The country you used to know, the country you are part of building, is no longer there. There's nothing today. If Nigeria, and I say, gets it wrong in 2023, because 2023 is to enable Nigeria to start rebuilding again. If they get it wrong, I can assure you that it will not take time for some of you who will still be there at that time to be refugees somewhere. Today, go and look at the list of fragile failing states. Nigeria is on top of it. Today, go and look at the list of terrorized nations. Nigeria is number 3. We are now ranked the same place as Afghanistan and Yemen. Today we are the capital of poverty. We have been since 2019. What is worse in it is that Nigeria have more people living in poverty than the 2 biggest countries of the world combined. China and India combined is 2.8 billion. Nigeria is 200 million. So we're not even to 10% of these 2 countries combined, but we have more people living in poverty than both of them combined. Today we have 50 million children out of school. And not out of school. 60 to 70% of them have never been to school at all. So they're not out of school. They've never even experienced the process of coming out of it. Your country's stress level, this country is now the most stressful place for people to live in. Go and check the stress level index. Our misery level have gone down so low. We have the highest unemployment rate because we have been comparing with South Africa, but I'll show you how South Africa is less. We have 33% unemployment. When you include underemployment, you have 55%, out of which 60% of these are young people in their productive age doing nothing. At the age they are supposed to be the engine of production, they're not doing anything. They've left school. Some of them didn't go to school, but they have nothing doing. So you have millions of them all over the place. We've just overtaken India in infant mortality. They expected we would overtake them in 2024, but we're overtaking them by first quarter. The list is endless. In drug prevalence now, the global rate is 5.8. Nigeria is 14.9. And it's 70% more among the young ones. That is where your country is. Your debt level is totally unacceptable. I was speaking to the Senate yesterday, and they showed me a young man, they showed me a senator, the single senator, who is the chairman of approving the loans in which Nigeria, all the loans that they are borrowing. And I said to him, thank you for approving it. But let me tell you, all the loans people have approved have put us in a mess. Today, we're using 98% of our revenue to service debt. And I can tell you by end of this year, it will be 100 and something% of our revenue. The first 5 months of last year, Nigeria generated as a revenue 1,847 billion. And they used 1,802 billion to service debt. 98%. Was remaining only 45 billion. Last year, our budget was 13.something trillion, and they said they are going to borrow 4 trillion. They ended up borrowing 6.7 trillion because they couldn't make it. This year, our budget is 17 trillion. And they said they are going to borrow only 7. They are going to generate 10. They are not going to generate 15, even 50% of that. So we are going to borrow about 8 this year, and we are going to service all those debts. It is not possible. There's no way a country can survive with that level of debt. And every day what you hear from government is that we don't have a borrowing problem, we have a revenue problem. You don't have a revenue problem. Revenue comes from production. The country is not productive. It's consumption. When you have millions of people unemployed, how can you generate revenue? You're not doing anything. People in your villages can't pay tax. They can't pay for anything because they're not doing anything. You need them to do something to be able to generate this thing. We have engine of production and employment, which is micro, small, medium businesses suffering in Nigeria. And nobody wants to do anything. And what people will tell you is that they give examples of, I've traveled to countries all over the world. No country operates like Nigeria. I've been to about 30 countries studying what is happening in Nigeria. And I've spent time, been from China to India to everywhere. I just came back last week from Morocco. I was in Morocco. I went to Morocco on Sunday and was there for almost 1 week. Traveled all over Morocco, spoke to their government officials. Nobody runs the way Nigeria runs. They have debt. Borrowing is not a problem. Every country in the world borrows. Even Norway, with the greatest sovereign wealth fund of 1.4 trillion, they are owing 50% of their GDP. It is what you use the money that makes a difference. And I'll give you an example of using everywhere I've gone today and tomorrow. I can show other places. I was in Bangladesh. I don't want to use small countries. I was in Bangladesh in 2010, and I spent 1 week in the villages of Bangladesh. Bangladesh was far poorer than Nigeria. In the year 2000, they were below us in HDI. Today, with their medium, we are still struggling in the poor circle. In Bangladesh, I met people. In fact, arriving at Bangladesh airport, you will not eat. It was so dirty, it was everything. I wondered, where is this place? As at that time, Bangladesh had a GDP of $115 billion with a per capita of about $700 each. That was 2010. Nigeria GDP was $375 billion. Our per capita was $2,250 in 2010. And our debt then, in 2010, because you in PDP have helped to clear all our foreign debt, our debt was brought down then to where we were owing just about 5% of our GDP. So we were owing less than $10 billion. Equivalent then. Or call it about equivalent to about 20 because of the rate of exchange then. 20 or even 25. That was what we were owing them. Today, Bangladesh GDP is $335 billion with a per capita of 2,050. So they've done 3 times what their per capita was in 2010. Nigerian GDP is 400. Our per capita has come down to 200. We lost below over 10% of what we were in 2010. Our debt has increased from about 30 billion to $100 billion. So that money borrowed did not yield or put into production. It made no contribution to our GDP, to our per capita, to everything. It was thrown away. And we're a nation. And nobody cares. Nobody bothers and says, okay, we're moving. This is how it's been in every country. We are not the first country that have poverty problem. China in 1990 had 98% of their people living under poverty. Today, China have less than 2% living under poverty. In fact, in from 2000 to 2015, China pulled 435 million people out of poverty. In 1990, Vietnam have 97% of their population living under poverty. Today, they have 1.6 living under poverty. So is Bangladesh. Everybody is pulling their people out of poverty. Even in Africa, in countries like Egypt. Egypt with 100 million people now have more diaspora remittances than Nigeria. Because if you go around now, they've invested in education, they've invested in everything. In the Egypt HDI in the next 1 or 2 years will be high. Nigeria is still low. We started with them in year 2000, low. They've now gone to medium, and now moving to high. Everybody we've met, Ghana was low, they now moved to medium. Bangladesh have moved to medium. Everybody, we are the only people who are stuck in low. And we are now receding in low. Because nobody cares. My plea to you this evening is, please, do not bequeath your grandchildren anarchy. That's where we're going. It's not about that.
Anyway, Nigerians, it's quite some long discourse. I just want to show us just some few minutes of Peter Obi's and to show you why many of us stand with Peter Obi. Um, right now, you need a leader who just not only understand the economy of where we are, but a leader who feels the pain of the situation Nigeria is into right now and who is desirous to contribute to changing that pain. And we need a leader who can govern our country with data. All these guys, that's why I said Tinubu is not a compliant person. He doesn't even know the time we are in. He has not acquired any new skill probably in the last 40 years, maybe. He has not acquired no new skill. You understand what I'm saying now? So the few things he understands is what some of his aides probably may have told him and all that. Now, when you see Peter Obi talking just now, you see the difference. He's giving us statistics, he's giving us data. Now, all of this data he's talking about right now, in some other areas where he's granted interview and all of that, he's able to analyze this and tell us how to come out of this problem, this mounting problems, economic problems we are in right now. He's able to compare Nigeria 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago with some other nations that Nigeria was doing better than, that are not doing better than Nigeria. He understands what those countries have done to put their people out of poverty, to change their own situation, and they keep on changing for the better. And he knows exactly what Nigeria must do to change the narrative. I must say, this is not a question, it's not about APC or PDP. I'm not a member of any political party. In fact, for all I care, Peter Obi could have been a member of APC or any other political party. It doesn't matter. What he carries is what is most important. At some point, we sit down to judge people and, of course, take side with them based on the content of their character. If you ask me, I'll tell you, that APC, PDP, as political parties, they are just one and the same. Today I was reading the news. The speaker of I think Sokoto State or so, one of these northern states, and his aides, they are planning to decamp now to PDP from APC. I actually was reading that is Arigbe Sola or whatever. You understand this? Tinubu's boy and some of his aides, they are already looking to decamp. So there is no proper political culture in Nigeria. So we're not interested in the political parties. We are looking at the individuals. Most of all, Peter Obi is from the southeast region of Nigeria. A region that, if you want to look at the balance of things, and want to look at equity, this is one region that has been shortchanged by Nigeria for so long. And if people must be fair, that old narrative of saying, oh, we cannot trust an Igbo man must not Buddhism, we must jump over such narrative right now. If we do not want to plunge this country into the abyss of no return. This man, Peter Obi, is bright. The man is sound, he's compliant, he works with data, he's an economist of no mean repute. He has his record speaking for him, and he speaks to the solutions of the issues about Nigeria. Fortunately, he is from the eastern part of Nigeria, which ultimately, if given the chance, will probably another very intelligent Nigerian, probably from the northern part of Nigeria, has his own vibe. We may just have solved a very huge problem. First, a problem of inclusion. Non-inclusion had been fed by the Easterners for far too long. There's a problem of having somebody, probably the smartest president ever in the history of Nigeria. And of course, embracing the idea that yes, we have the right person in place to further turn things around and consolidate the Nigeria of our dream for us. So at the end of the day, there's so much plus that somebody like Peter Obi brings to the table. My people, we cannot afford to make this mistake. Please, if you are listening to me, please do us a favor. You truly love this narrative to change. You love that Peter Obi, you believe that Peter Obi is the right man. Please, we want to get thousands of shares of this broadcast, because the reason why you share is because we want everybody to see and listen and hear. At the moment, many of us cannot decide what happens because it's clearly, lie with the delegates. And some of the people they've called political godfathers who tell delegates what to do. I tell you, PDP wants to win. But they have to win with a candidate that is popular. We as Nigerians must show that the man that we believe can do the job is Peter Obi. So if everybody is speaking to that, you are sharing, you are making positive comments about this. Maybe somehow that delegate out there would see the pulse of Nigerians right now through your platform, through your own Facebook page, your own YouTube page, your own Twitter page. They will feel the pulse of Nigerians and know where Nigerians are heading, the direction they are heading. And they will be forced to heed to that choice. Nigerians, I do not know Peter Obi from Adam. I'm not interested in knowing him. I'm not chasing after knowing him. But I just know that this man, for all of them on the field right now, this man is the man who holds the key to transforming this country. I am not saying it's a messiah, but I believe that if we are privileged enough to tap into his brains to direct affairs for the Nigerian state, our economic woes will not be like this. It will be turned around. The man is interested in pulling Nigerians out of poverty. That is one of the things that Nigerians mostly need right now. He's key to ensure that security is guaranteed. And I can tell you, if majority of Nigerians are out of poverty, insecurity will be greatly reduced. This is a man that I see will lead from the front. It's a man that you are not going to tell the economic stories to, as they are telling Buhari. Buhari doesn't know anything. The people ruling Buhari are his aides. Ruling Nigeria are his aides. This is what we should do. They go about that. This is what we should do. They go about that. The man has no idea whatsoever. But this man, Peter Obi, knows the state of the nation. So if he's sitting with his own economic team and they are rubbing minds, they are not telling him what to do. He's able to verify what is truth and what is not true. It is a defining moment for Nigeria this time. And Nigerians must understand this. This is the essence of this broadcast. Please share this broadcast. It's very important. It's very important. On that note, Nigerians, we keep on speaking to this narrative. Let's understand that the only choice we have today as a nation is a choice to elect Peter Gregory Obi as the next president of Nigeria. There is no compromise about this. There is no better choice anywhere on the field. Let's take a listen to the remaining part of this particular deposition of Peter Obi to the PDP Board of Trustees. And I'll be back shortly. Don't go away.
It's not about who will be the next president. No, it's not about who will be able to be in position to be using siren. It's not about who will be able to share. There's nothing to share again. It's finished. We need wealth creators. Now, we need somebody that can create wealth. Everything that is left in that pot is gone. It is not a time for rascality. It is not a time for careless talk. We need somebody that can understand how to build an intangible and tangible asset of a nation building. We have connection globally that can stand and speak to colleagues and plead with them to come and save Nigeria. Or we will be refugees. None of you can wash plates outside here. None of you can sweep anything. Your drivers can. Imagine what it is now if you live here and you get to another country and the only job left is to wash plates. How can you do it? You cannot. You want to go in peace. Most of you at the departure lunch, you want to go in peace. You don't want to go crying. And that is critical for you. It's critical for us. I get up every morning and I wonder what is happening here. Yes, people now, everybody is telling you, we will do this, we will do this. Please, I'm begging, let us check. All those that are going to come and talk to our party, they want to be this, let us check their background. Where are they coming from? What have they done in their life? Who are they? It's easier. I got to tell people, it's easier to grandstand and say things you cannot do or what you cannot do. My name is Peter Obi. I'm a trader. That's all I've done in my life. Forget about how they described me. I'm a businessman who have been a private businessman in Nigeria, have made success of the business, and understands how to solve the problem that it will make private sector drive the process today. I know how your country can start turning around by creating revenue and ensuring that small businesses get money in order to do business, in order to create jobs. I know how much how to direct the banks, do the right thing. Our ports today don't work. I drove from over 300 kilometers, or about that, from Rabat to Tangier airport, port in Morocco to see how their port works. Because I cannot see how Morocco, with about 1/7 of Nigerian population, can have the biggest port in Africa that does 3 times the cargo of Nigeria. 3 times, all our airports put together. And I went there, and I said I was working. Morocco exported, last year the export was $40-something billion without having oil. We're earning $18 billion in oil. And they even tell us that 8% of it is stolen. We're stealing it. What are we talking here? And we have a country. Look at what is happening to everywhere in the north today. Do we still have a country where we have people who have kidnapped people in Nigeria, taking them somewhere and are calling by phone in this age of technology, and you can't do anything to them? Do we have a country? There's something wrong. It just shows that people don't want to make a decision. I have been a governor of a state where there's crisis, and I can make the elders in that state are here. We solved it overnight. We have a country. The first ingredient of a failing state is when the government is no longer in control of its territory. We are no longer in control of here. We're talking about food. Morocco, with a quarter of a third or half, let me call half, of our land space, exported agricultural materials of over $8 billion last year. I was telling chief servants when we went to Niger State.
Well, I just thought I'd play that, again, so that, add that to it, so that we understand exactly some of the things we're talking about. You listen to Peter Obi, you are hopeful that if we give this man a chance, there's a very strong likelihood that things will be turned around in no time. And again, it tells you how far he travels. He doesn't travel because he just enjoys traveling. He travels to learn what is making these people work, what is making that country work better, to understand what they are doing differently. And those are things he's sharing with us. You understand what I'm saying? And these are the things that when he comes down and he raises his own economic team, we expect Nigeria to quickly start changing the narrative. Look, my people, Nigeria is our country. We don't have any other one. No matter where we cry to right now, there are people who are saying, let us divide the nation, let us do this or do that. Everybody's in their right to do whatever they are saying. But until whatever happens. This is Nigeria. We are all still Nigerians. At least today, that we know. I don't want to talk about what we don't know yet. And this is why, if we are Nigerians today, we must play our role, okay, to ensure that what we have to do, we do at this time. And I'm telling you right now, presenting Peter Gregory Obi as the man right now that Nigeria needs to serve this country from 2023. As a matter of fact, between now and 2023, it's a long way. There's no doubt about it. And so, Nigerians, please, like I said earlier, if you are watching this broadcast, you agree with what we are doing here, what we are saying, please share it. Don't even watch and just relax. Share this broadcast from your own page, from your own profile. Somebody will watch and see and understand, because our people need to hear. Look at Tinubu. I have not come here to compare Tinubu and Peter Obi. No. I have only come here to talk about Peter Obi, and of course to let Nigerians know that Tinubu at all should not be an option. APC has an array of people equally vying to become president. They can make a choice from. There are some people too that Nigerians can, identify with under APC. People have come to say, man, somebody like, what's his name, the vice president of Nigeria can be a good choice for the APC. There are some other young people too that are complying with the time. Let Nigerians be presented with two key choices that Nigerians can look left and right and say, okay, however it is, we will be okay. But most of all, for the PDP, please, you are a delegate, you are listening to me. Please share this broadcast. Some delegates will listen from your wall. Some may be in your contact, because Tinubu already spoke to it. He spoke extensively about the billions of people who are subscribing to Twitter, to YouTube, to Facebook. He knows the power of this of the social media, and we will tap into that power of social media to preach this narrative. Don't put a comment there to say we have no say. We have a say. Some of us were involved in the Edo State governorship election. We were keenly involved. And through this medium, we changed the narrative in Edo State. We directed things in Edo State. We can do it for Nigeria as well. Peter Obi is the man. If you agree with me, please do the needful. You may not come out as we do come out to do broadcasts like this, but please share at least. That may be a huge contribution. You never know. It will get somewhere. Somebody will listen. But I tell you, when people hear the same part of a particular kind of message over and over and over and over again, at some point they will pause to listen and take a deep breath. That's exactly what we are doing with this narrative. In media, they call it persistence of vision. Something you see over and over and over again. And that is why we do not want the narrative of the Bola Tinubu and all of those guys to drown our own narrative. Because they understand the power of social media. So they are going to be putting themselves out there. When you see them too often, you start to believe them. We don't want that to happen. The message of Peter Obi is clear. The message is very clear, and we identify with the message. There is no saint out there. But right now, we have a man who understands data, a man who understands statistics, a man who understands economy, and a man who's willing to lead from the front. Peter Gregory Obi. Nigerians, I come to make the case for Peter Obi again. On the last note, I'm going to treat this differently, but I'm going to have a broadcast where I'm going to speak to our Igbo brothers, particularly the misguided ones. And with one last paragraph, let me appeal appeal to all of you. All you guys say you are security one thing. You understand what I'm saying now? You are coming out to kill your own people because you reject the Nigerian narrative. You are in a battle. The battle you are in, the battle is in your own backyard, in your own household. The other day, some young men came out in the name of, oh, we are dictating, we are this, we are that. They brought out a neck a person, they shot the person and took two away in Imo State. And that is further going to breed fear among the Igbos. My people, I tell you the truth. A time will come, as it always is in Nigeria, it will be a matter to your test on Israel. Right now, people who are not even Igbos are pushing the narrative to say, let Peter Obi be given a chance. You, some of you, the Igbos, I'm not talking about all of them, a few of you, the Igbos, you are the ones who are creating tension and fear in the East to reduce the potency of the Igbos at this time. And some of us will see and say, look at them. The Yorubas are equally agitating, but they are not killing themselves. Yoruba land is not a war front. Some of you, pardon my language, are just foolish, painfully so. You are agitating, you want Biafra, you want this. Is that how to go about it? Let me lecture you. I live in the United Kingdom. Scottish people want to pull away from the UK. They are advocating for referendum. They have a political party, SNP. They are members of parliament. They are pushing the narrative. They've been granted a referendum some years ago. They are pushing again for another referendum. They are not killing themselves. The Catalan in Spain, they want to move away from Spain. They want to have a Catalan republic. They are not killing themselves. They are projecting their own political parties to have their own voice in the National Assembly of Spain, Asamblea Nacional. They are pushing through that proper narrative, the civilized way of doing it. There are so many people across the world pushing for the narrative of wanting to have self-determination, but they are not killing themselves. You are at war. You claim you are at war, but the battle is in your own mother's land. The people you are killing, the victims of your battle, are your own brothers and your sisters. What sense is in that? This time that Nigerians are converging to say we want someone like Peter Obi to come from the east, intelligent man, sound, to provide leadership. Some of you, with your own effort, you are pulling down this effort. And at the end of the day, you call it, why are they declaring? Why is the zoo president, as you call it, Buhari, asking ability to come down to your people and kill your people? They are not killing everybody, but they are after you, recalcitrant. You are there. You are carrying guns. You are killing people, threatening people not to take part in an exercise like this that will determine the future of this country, that may even determine whether you get Biafra or you don't get Biafra. That may put Nigeria right to the extent that we expect that the young people will begin to say, okay, we can at least feel included in this narrative of Nigeria. So let us forget about the issue of agitation for self-determination, because Nigeria is working for all of us. If Nigeria is working well for everybody, nobody will be agitating. Your agitation is because Nigeria is not working well. Right now, we have a map, Peter Obi, that all of us need to promote so that Nigeria can work well for everybody and agitations will die. And I tell you the truth, the diversity of Nigeria is a beauty to behold if we are able to get it right. Everybody can be happy with a united Nigeria that is working for everybody. And the beauty of this united Nigeria, in fact, it will be like none other in this world. Why not let us at least put some bet in that? You are brandishing your guns and threatening local people. Why don't you take your battle and go to Zamfara and face the Boko Haram people? Why don't you take your battle and go to Aso Rock and face Mr. President? The man you say is creating the problem for you. You are keeping the battle in your own villages in Imo State. Like right now, Soludo has been elected. All of you, you are brandishing nonsense, terrorizing the East in this time where you are supposed to bring your energy together. Understand that the ideas that you are chasing cannot be realized with this level of violence. I have advocated. If I pop, you people, some of you call yourself I pop. Sometimes I pop people disengage themselves from this nonsense that is happening. But if you truly understand that you have a movement, the only way your movement can be a successful movement is when you take it through the right channels. None of the governors is identified with you. Why don't you put your strength into a political party and project a candidate and begin to have your voice in the national in the national table of discourse? You are doing your kangaroo. What's it called? This thing. What is it called? You are killing yourselves using your own land as your own war front. I battle. I fight battles, but the battleground must not be my own house. Must not be my own background. I take my battles far. If you are truly a soldier, you believe that you have what it takes. Take your battle out of the east. Oh, you say, oh, Fulani Hespe, they have come to attack one village in the east. They are come to do this in the east. But you will show us videos of you killing a neck official. Somebody very likely to be an Igbo person, working to earn a living. Providing voters registration cards to people that will empower them to push this narrative. But you come, you kill them, you destroy voters registration cards, you make sure you disenfranchise those people. Who is at fault? Who is fooling who? Then you expect people to clap for you. Anyway, we will delegate another broadcast for this. For now, I want to appeal to Nigerians. All some of these misguided young people in the East who say they are doing this. Look, they are representing themselves. Okay, they are not speaking for majority of the Igbos. I can tell that because I know I have interacted with the Igbo people. I know a lot of them. I mean, somebody told me from Anambra and said when Peter Obi was living as the governor, a lot of people were shedding tears. They were trying to see if they could advocate for a third term because of the record this man left. It's just unfortunate that this man is from East, and maybe unfortunate too, with all due respect, with what this man carries. Even if this man was a Northerner, even if it was a Yoruba person, I will still advocate for him because in him I see true light that Nigeria needs at this time, and it's only wise. If all you guys who have the ears of those guys who are perpetuating nonsense in the East, advise them. Violence is not the way. People need to come together right now. Whether you like it or not, we are talking about. I'm talking about what's it called now, about Tinubu just now. At some point, we hope it doesn't happen like that. But that has been the history of Nigeria. It becomes a matter to your state of Israel. Everybody begin to, the river begin to develop tributaries where people begin to go to their own houses, begin to go to their own clans, to begin to take decisions from there. That has always been the bane of this country. Today we want to sell a candidate to be a national candidate. Peter Obi is not an Igbo man. Under this arrangement, we want to sell this man as a Nigerian, to appeal to the Northerners, to appeal to the Westerners, to appeal to the South, to appeal to the Southeast. But if you want to use your own nonsense to destroy it, but you will not succeed. You will not succeed. The will of Nigerians will not make you succeed. Anyway, I just wanted to just chip that in. Nigerian people have spoken. It's been over an hour. Please share this broadcast. It's what you probably owe us to get this, narrative going on. Like I said, Peter Obi is a man for today and for tomorrow. Let's stay with that. Let's support. Let's do what we can to get the message across to the delegates wherever they are. As for APC, Tinubu is not an option. This is probably one of the last broadcasts I'll be making concerning Tinubu. You understand? It shouldn't be an option. APC must understand that. Look at other candidates, other aspirants, and probably choose which one of the best from amongst the rest that we know that can be compliant with the time that we are in right now. It's very important. Tinubu must not be an option at all. At all. Fellow Nigerians, my name is Comrade Lamte Oriaki. It's been a Comrade Show. I'll speak to you guys again. We'll keep on pushing this narrative. Thank you very much for being part of this. Please share this broadcast. Like I said, let our target be at least 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 shares. Let it go round. It's important. The message is important for all Nigerians. I'll see you again. Bye for now.
Comrade Show, Comrade Lante Oriake. This is the Comrade Show.
Are you a business owner? Do you make your own products? This is your best opportunity ever. Register your brand now with the first and largest marketplace promoting Nigerian-made products. Get access to over 17 million shoppers and customers currently in need of your products. Download on Google Play Store now to register or visit ekioja.com. Focus on creating your passion. Leave the marketing to us.